Hello friends! Today I am doing a video that I do every single summer. It's kind of a tradition at this point to do it in the summer, and that is letting a spinner wheel choose how much I read for a week. Now, today it's a Sunday morning when I'm starting this, and it's kind of a crazy day. We're having a belated Father's Day celebration today. So my grandparents are coming in, my aunt is coming in with a bunch of my cousins, not all of them, but a good chunk of them. So we're gonna have a lot of people at our house. So I am doing something different. Normally I do like 1, 2, 3, or 4 hours. Today I'm gonna do 30 minutes, an hour and a half, and 2 hours as the options for the wheel, just because I don't really have a lot of time to read today. I'm going to be starting a new book in this video, which I'm really excited about. I am going to be starting Killer Instinct by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is the second book in the Natural series. I just recently reread the first book because I wanted to read this series fully. And I had only read the first book and I was like, I need to refresh myself. And I forgot how much I enjoy this series. Just based off book 1, I was like, I definitely need to read book 2. So I'm really excited to dive into this series. I've definitely been in like a thriller mystery mood. I've been reading a lot of mysteries and thrillers this summer in particular. So I'm really excited to pick this up. Let's see how long I'm reading for today. All right, I have my 4 choices in the wheel. I'm kind of hoping for an hour and a half. I feel like that's like the perfect sweet spot, but we'll see. Let's see. Yes! Okay, we landed on an hour and a half, which is so perfect. I'm really excited because my plan is to read for 30 minutes this morning. Then we're gonna go to church and then come back and have the whole celebration. And then before I go to bed tonight, read for like an hour because I like to read before I go to bed. So I'm very excited. Let's get reading. Okay, I read for about 35 minutes and now I have to get ready for church and finish up doing my laundry. But I got to 23%, and so far it's not as action-packed and fast-paced as the first book. I feel like the first 6 to 8 chapters was a lot of just recapping the first book, which normally I wouldn't mind, but I had just read the first book, and so I kind of been not really loving that aspect of it. We've now transitioned into the plot of this book, so it's getting a little bit better, but I'm still very much this is a lot of setup. So I'm hoping it'll get better because we are almost a fourth of the way through the book now, so I'm hoping now it'll pick up a little bit more. But I wasn't super impressed with the beginning. Also, I might have some time before church to read for another 15 minutes or so. Yeah, but we have about 55 minutes left on the timer, so I'm feeling pretty good. I gotta go pick up my laundry and then get ready for church. Okay, it is 8 p.m. I have 55 minutes left on the clock, so we are gonna knock that out right now. I'm actually going to bed early because I have a job interview in the morning that I really want to be nice and prepped for, so I'm going to bed early. But I'm picking up where I left off, and it's definitely picking up now. I feel like the plot is definitely going somewhere, so I'm excited to keep reading. I just read the craziest part. Oh my gosh. What the heck? Also, I'm officially 40% in, so I think I'm gonna get a little bit over halfway today, which is kind of crazy for one day of reading, but I literally am shook right now. What the heck? Okay, I officially finished. It is 9 p.m. I got to 52% of Killer Instinct, and I am so locked in now. slept last night because I was so anxious about this job interview. It is at 10. It is currently 8 a.m. So I'm gonna spend 2 hours like getting ready in a little bit. My mom's gonna do my hair. I'm gonna put my makeup on, all of that stuff. But I have some time right now, so I'm gonna choose my reading time. I have stuff going on in like the evening, kind of later in the day. So I think I'm gonna do an hour and a half, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 3 hours as my reading times today, just because I have a little bit more time than yesterday, but not as much. So let's see how much time I get. Here we go. Okay. It looks like we got 2.5 hours. I think that's very doable with kind of what I have planned here. So I know that 1 hour of that is gonna be before I go to bed, which means during the day today, I have about an hour and a half to read. I think I'll definitely finish Killer Instinct at that pace, so that's exciting. So after this, after all of my job interview and stuff, you'll see me. So transition into me reading. Okay, slight change of plans. I got all ready for my interview and then it had to be rescheduled until this afternoon. So based on all the other stuff I have to do today in the afternoon and evening, I think writing just isn't gonna happen today. So I'm gonna get all my reading done, but I just won't have time to write today because everything's kind of shifting around. I'm also supposed to be getting a call from my supervisor at my current role in about 45 minutes here. So I'm gonna read for a little bit until that call, and then after that call, hopefully I will have my interview all figured out, and then from there I can go to therapy. Lord knows I need it today, so I'm going to pick up where I left off and see how much of this I can read before my first call. Okay, I finished my first call and now I am at 76%. I am so invested. This book is getting literally insane. Like, your girl is so locked in right now. So I am just having a blast. We have about roughly an hour and 57 minutes left. So I'm hoping to get to like the hour and a half mark before my next call, but I don't know when my next call is yet. So okay, I just finished. I have an hour and 26 minutes left of reading today, but oh my gosh, that was amazing. I will give my full thoughts probably tomorrow because today's pretty crazy, but I really liked this a lot. I was very invested. Okay, little update. I did not read all that I was supposed to read today. I ended up after dinner hanging out with a friend, which took a little bit longer than I anticipated, and then we had family friends over, so I ended up chatting with them for several hours. It is now 10:30 and I need to go to bed because I have to get up for work tomorrow, and I still had about an hour and a half left on the timer. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to listen to a half hour of my audiobook. Technically that's not fulfilling the goal because I would have only read for an hour and a half today, but it still counts as reading. Also, my final thoughts on Killer Instinct 4.5. I loved this. It got super fast paced, but it started out very slow, which is kind of why I didn't give it a full 5. But overall, I think it was a really good read. Definitely my favorite of the series so far, and I need to keep reading. I also love that we got a lot of Dean's backstory. Dean is one of my favorite characters in the series, so I really liked learning about him. That is my update. I will see you guys tomorrow. Hello everyone, happy Tuesday. So I had work today, hence the dress situation, and you guys saw me spin the wheel at work because I didn't know kind of what my evening plans would really look like. I ended up getting 30 minutes, and I definitely think I'm gonna read for longer than that, but I am hitting the hay pretty early because I have work all day tomorrow, and then I'm coming straight home and going to another job interview. So love that for me. So I probably am gonna read maybe an hour, a little bit over. I'll definitely hit the 30 minutes, but I'm really excited for the book I'm about to start. I'm going to be starting Yesteryear. This has been one of my most anticipated reads of the past like month or so. Everyone and their mother is reading this book, so needless to say, I'm very excited to dive right into this. But we're gonna change into some comfy clothes first, watch Jeopardy with my family because it's a family tradition. We love to watch Jeopardy every night, take a shower, and then start reading. So let's go read. So a decent amount, and I'm officially 125 pages into Yesteryear. So far it's really good. I don't love the constant time jumps, or I didn't love them at first, but I feel like now I've gotten used to it, so it's gotten a little bit better. It's really interesting. I feel like I don't have too many thoughts about it yet, but I am like very invested in like the plot. And I love how we have an unlikable narrator. It reminds me a lot of Yellowface, which is a 5-star read for me. So hoping this will be the same. I also feel like The House of My Mother by Sherry Frankie. Like I feel like Sherry Frankie needs to read this book because it reminds me a lot of the whole like Ruby Frankie controversy. It reminds me a lot of that. But yeah, I'm gonna stop for the night, go to bed, but that is my update for today. Okay everybody, I finished up my last day of my internship, and as you guys saw, I spun the wheel while I was there, and I got 2.5 hours. So I just finished Yesteryear, and it only took me about 15 minutes because I didn't have that many pages left. This was a 5-star read for me. I was not expecting it to be a 5-star read, if I'm gonna be honest. Usually when a book is like really overhyped, I go in with low expectations, but this was truly amazing. Like I really enjoyed this. I added it to my favorite books of the whole year list. So I was really, really impressed with this. I have about 2 hours and 15 minutes left, and I'm going to spend that time reading Meet Cute by Sam Parks on my Kobo. I got this from NetGalley, so I'm very excited. It's a cutesy little romance. I know I said I was in a thriller mood at the beginning of this, but over the course of the past 2 days, I have been like, I want a romance book right now. So I am very excited to dive into this. So let's do 2 hours and 16 minutes of reading.
You become a big fat star, you ain't ever gonna forget your buddies always stuck by you now, are you, Eddie?
Of course not.
Ooh, of course not.
The fireworks are already starting outside my window, but it is almost 10 p.m. and I officially got to 71% of the way through Meet Cute. Guys, it's so good. First of all, it's a slow burn, which I love, and it has so much yearning, like so much, like it's just, and also there's 2 female main characters because it's a sapphic love story, but so it's weird to say like the main character because they're both the main characters, but one of our main characters is a marketing girly, so I love to read about just like her and like all the marketing stuff she's doing. It's also the Grumpy Sunshine trope, which I actually have not read a Grumpy Sunshine trope book in a long time, but it works so well in this one. And then also it's obviously got like a fantasy D&D like vibe, like one of our characters plays D&D and they both go to Ren fairs, so it's kind of got like the Ren fair fantasy vibe, which is super fun. So I'm really loving this, but I completed my reading for the day, so I will finish this up tomorrow. Hello everybody, welcome back to day 6 of the challenge. We only have 1 day left. We have today and then tomorrow. So today I have lots of time to read. The only plans we have today are in the evening. We're going to like a local fireworks show, which I don't know why it's tonight and not tomorrow, but today is July 3rd. Tomorrow is the 4th of July, but I still dressed festive because we're going to a fireworks show. So today I have a lot of time to read. It is currently like noon. I slept in really late, which I never do, so I'm kind of surprised. But today I have 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 3 hours, 3.5 hours, and 4 hours as my options for today. So let's spin and see what we get. Okay, that was really weird. The footage like fully just like did not save in my phone of me spinning, but 3 hours and 30 minutes is what we got, which I think is very doable for today. So I'm gonna save an hour of that for tonight before bed. So, which means this afternoon we're gonna do 2.5 hours, which again, I think is very doable. So I'm definitely gonna finish Meet Cute today. The next book that I have on my list is Great Expectations, but I am like not in the mood to read a classic right now. So I have 2 Agatha Christie's that I got from the library. So I think I'm just gonna pick up one of those after I finish this, just because the urge to pick up a classic right now is not there, but it's from the library, so I have to finish it fairly quickly. So okay, it is now like 1 o'clock and I officially finished Meet Cute. I gave this a 4.25 stars. I think it was so cute. It was slow burn, which I love. I love slow burn. Like, I know a lot of people hate it, but I love it because it makes the relationship feel more real. Because like if you see someone and you instantly fall in love and then you're like dating within like the first half of the book, I'm like, okay, this is like not that realistic. Whereas if you see the person and then you're like, I really want to pursue this person, so I'm gonna like talk to them more, make efforts to hang out with them more. I just love that. So I gave that a 4.25 stars. I have about 2 hours and 40 minutes left on the timer, which is a lot of time. So I'm gonna pick up Sad Cypress by Agatha Christie as my next read. So my sisters are also big Agatha Christie fans, and they told me that this one is pretty boring, but I have made it my life goal to read all of the Poirot books, and I'm super close. I think I have like less than 10 left to read before I've finished all of them. So I have to read this one, even though it might be boring, but we'll see. So I'm gonna pick up this for a little bit.
You become a big fat star, you ain't ever gonna forget your buddies always stuck by in our eye, Eddie.
Of course not.
Ooh, of course not.
Okay, it is 3:40. I have 57 minutes on the clock and I just finished my second book of the day, which is Sad Cypress. I went into this thinking I wasn't gonna like it. This is a 4.25 stars. I really enjoyed this a lot. I did predict the ending, but it was kind of like in a satisfying way where I was like, I'm really glad that the little details that I noticed like came together, because sometimes she'll plant things that are obvious red herrings and I pick up on them and I'm like, oh my god, it's this, and then it's not. So I was like noticing these little details and I was like, is this a red herring? But then I was like, I got it, I figured it out. So I think I am gonna start Great Expectations this evening just because I needed to read a couple books that were just kind of like fun reads, but I think I'm gonna lock in and start reading it. So I'm gonna read it for about an hour this evening. But yeah, that's my little update. Hey everybody, it's about 9:30 and I woke up about like 20-ish minutes ago. So today is the last day of the challenge. It's day 7. So last night I got about 100 pages into Great Expectations, which is about 20%. So far I really like it. Like, I was definitely scared to start it because I just was not in a classic mood, but it's definitely moving very quickly and I feel pretty good about it. Yeah, so I'm excited to read more of that today. We're gonna spin the wheel and see what we get. I'm gonna turn the sound off because yesterday I accidentally spun with the sound on. Okay, we're spinning. What are we gonna get? Okay, it looks like 3 hours and 30 minutes. Yep, okay, so we got 3 hours and 30 minutes. I definitely think I'm gonna get a lot read. I don't think I'm gonna finish just because this book is almost 500 pages, but who knows, I might. And if that is the case, I'm just gonna start my next Agatha Christie book. But let's get to reading. I do have to do some things this morning. I have to do a job application. And then I'm gonna get dressed and like ready for the day, have some lunch, and then go into my reading. So let's read. With an hour left on the clock, I finished Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. I'm giving this a 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. I was very invested throughout. There were a few parts that got a little bit slow for me, but I really enjoyed this. It was very well written. It kept me engaged, which it's hard for me to find classics that do that. And I've had really good luck with Dickens's books because I read Tale of Two Cities and that was also a 4-star read. So since I have about an hour left, which I was not planning on having an hour left, I'm actually going to pick up The Prison Healer by Lynette Noni. I got this from the library on my Kobo. I feel like it's not really a fantasy vibe right now, but I just had this from the library and it's due in a couple of weeks, so I figured I would just start it now in the last hour that we have. But I'm also going to go ahead and end this video here. So I read a total of 5 books and almost all of them actually were 4 stars and above, which is so great. So overall, I really enjoy this challenge. The fireworks are going. Just ignore that. I really enjoyed this challenge and I love doing it every year because I feel like I get so many books read. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and comment down below your favorite book that you read in June or a book that you're excited to start in July. Check out my social medias while you're down there and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!